there, I'm Suri. As a therapist who specializes in working with emotionally sensitive children and their parents, I really understand how difficult it can be to stay grounded amidst the day-to-day challenges of parenting. And in this video, we're going to explore a foundational concept in DBT that can help you navigate those moments with greater clarity, balance, and intention. Now, if you watched the last video, you know that mindfulness isn't about being calm or zoning out. It's about paying attention with purpose. It's a concept that I come back to again and again, both in my own work and in my own parenting, and it's called wise mind. Wise mind helps us make decisions that reflect how we feel and what we know. Now, if you've ever felt like you're stuck between just do what makes sense and I'm too overwhelmed to think straight, you know exactly what I'm talking about and you're not alone. Parenting a sensitive or reactive child can be a tug of war between logic and emotion a dozen times a day. And that back and forth is exhausting. DBT teaches that we actually have three states of mind, and knowing how to recognize them gives us more choice, more clarity, and a better shot at staying grounded amongst that back and forth. So let's break it down. The first state of mind is what we call reasonable mind. And that's the part of you that's practical, logical, fact-focused. This is where your problem-solving brain lives. Now, you might be in a reasonable state of mind when you're organizing your day, checking the school calendar, planning lunches for the week. But in this state, you might also downplay emotions or feel detached from them entirely. Now, on the other hand, emotion mind is that state of mind where you're driven by feelings. This is when you might be overwhelmed, reactive, panicked, or flooded by frustration. In this state of mind, everything feels urgent, and it's really hard to access logic. This is the state of mind where we're much more likely to yell, withdraw, or try to fix everything immediately. We experience a sense of urgency. Now, the third state of mind is wise mind. And that's the overlap. It's the integration of reasonable and emotional mind. It's that place where you're most intuitive and where your knowing self can feel your feelings and still choose your response. Wise mind is a calm, centered, clear, and grounded state of mind. It's that just right balance of thinking and feeling. So let's get practical. Let's say your child is having a meltdown in public. From an emotion mind point of view, you might feel embarrassed, frustrated, and yell, "Enough already." From a reasonable state of mind, you might try to ignore it completely and just keep on doing your shopping as if nothing's happening. And from a place of wise mind, you might pause, take a breath, and say, "You're having a really hard time. Let's take a break and figure this out together." Wise mind helps you validate your child's emotions and still hold a boundary without losing yourself in the process. So at this point, you might be wondering, all right, wise mind sounds great, but how do I actually get there? And this is where mindfulness comes in. Wise mind is not a destination you arrive at. It's a state that you drop into when you pause long enough to notice what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what's happening with your body. And mindfulness is how we practice building that pause. Because when you're in emotion mind, everything feels urgent. You want to do something and do it fast. Whereas mindfulness says pause, observe, breathe. So each time you notice your jaw clenched, each time you realize that you're spiraling into worst case scenario thinking, mindfulness tells us to feel the urge to yell, but to stop and name it instead. And when you practice mindfulness, you're building that muscle that leads you back to a wise-minded state. That pause you practice in the car, being mindful, or being mindful while you're folding laundry, or during a tantrum, those are the reps that strengthen your ability to access wise mind in the heat of a moment. So how do you access wise mind? You pause before reacting. You notice what's happening without judgment. You name your experience. You breathe. And every single mindfulness practice that we share in this series, whether it's grounded breath, sensory anchor, labeling emotions, those are all designed to make that return to wise mind easier. Because it's not about being calm all the time. It's about coming back to your center when it matters most. In DBT, wise mind is the starting point for lots of other skills. It's the place where you can respond to your child with clarity and compassion instead of urgency or shutdown. And the more you practice mindfulness, the easier it becomes to access wise mind, not just when everything is calm and quiet, but especially when it's not. And that's what makes this work really powerful. So now that you've got the map, emotion mind, reasonable mind, and wise mind, you're probably wondering, how do I put this into practice? And you might be wondering even more, well, what if I'm already in emotion mind? What if my body's tense, my thoughts are racing, and I'm about to lose it? Perfect. In the next video, we're going to start building your real-life mindfulness toolkit. Really simple practices that you can use anytime, anywhere to reconnect to your wise mind. You're going to be learning how to find your center, and what's coming next will help you get there and stay there, even when parenting gets really loud. Now remember that it's normal to fluctuate between emotion mind and reasonable mind. The goal isn't to eliminate those two states, rather to integrate them with wise mind. And by practicing mindfulness, you can enhance your ability to respond to parenting situations with greater wisdom and compassion. So stay tuned.